Hi everyone, welcome back to another database session. Today I'm going to talk about delta files manipulation. In one of my previous video, I was describing how we can manipulate the delta table using PySpark SQL, but sometimes we may not have the metadata created on top of files, but still we have to modify the files using PySpark SQL. This session will help you if you're looking for such requirement. To demonstrate this, I used one publicly available data, electric vehicles population, which is downloaded from the website. I can give you the website down in the comments. You can use the same thing um, for any kind of learnings. So as usual, I stored this data in the dbfs store, and the file statement will retrieve the data stored here and create the data frame. Because it is in CSV format, I need to use this specific syntax. It also have header, so I made it as true. And finally, we have the data frame ready. So there are many columns available, which is not required for our demonstration. So I'll be limiting the number of columns. And I created additional folder. The file that I downloaded and loaded into one place, that is the raw file, and the processed file will be storing in this folder. And if you look at the file output, the columns are not in a standard format. For example, there is a space or a special character which I want to remove, right? So I use this with column renamed syntax and change the column name. Uh, and finally, I selected only limited number of columns to load it into this data frame. The next step is to write this data frame into my processed folder in a delta format. df2.write.mode equal to overwrite. If any data is already there, it will overwrite the data, and format is delta, and saving it to this specific path. And once it's saved into the path, your delta file is there. Now let's read the data using spark.read.format delta and see the data here. All right. So we have in county, city, state, postal code, model year, make, model, and electric vehicle type. Now, if you look at the model year, there are many records available starting from 2011 or long before that, right? 2010 or 2008. So when you load the data, sometimes what happens is many of the organization have the data retention policy, may not be have to store more than 5 years of records or 10 years of records, something like that. So based on that, you always have to remove the data after your data load. But here I'm going to delete only the 2025 records, 20, not 2025, 2015 record, right? So first check how many records are available for 2025. I think it is 4,000 something. Yeah, 4661 records. Now, how do you delete that? You need to use delta table. Let's import the delta table from delta.tables. Then read the data from this path where we stored the data before, right? and keep it in this delta table. So this will be the pointer to the actual file, right? It's not a data frame. Now you can do the manipulation. You can use the delete function on top of this delta table. And our requirement is delete all the records which came in on 2015. Let's execute this and check whether we have any data after this statement. Okay, that is done. Now execute this again and see how many records are there. It's empty. But at the same time, we also need to check whether we have the data available for other year, right? So let's copy this. I don't want to touch here. Let's go back to the last cell. I'll copy here. Sorry, paste it here and execute. All right, so we have all other data except 2015. This is how you can manipulate the data using PySpark. All right, thank you for watching. It's a very small video. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Thank you very much.